So we covered Spanish mortgages back in 2018, way back in episode number 18. However, this episode, number 81, we update you on some of the new information that will affect you if you're looking to purchase a property in Spain since the new mortgage laws came into place back in 2019. So welcome to episode number 81 of 2 Minute Tuesday with Hundon Valley Homes. So firstly, if you've not seen episode number 18 of 2 Minute Tuesday about mortgages, I'd suggest that you pause this video, click on the link in the description and go and watch episode number 18, then come back to us on episode 81. So welcome back. If you did go off and look at episode number 18, welcome back. Now, back in 2019, a new law came into effect in Spain regarding how the banks issue mortgages, and that the banks now become responsible for how they are sold and managed. Now, this law is going to have a direct effect on you as a borrower if you required a mortgage from a Spanish bank. Now, the law stipulates that the banks and the lenders are more on the hook or more accountable for the advice that they give to potential mortgage borrowers. Now, this is already having an effect on the Spanish banks, and it's been noted by the banks we deal with, our lawyers and mortgage brokers, that the banks themselves are becoming ultra cautious when making the decision to lend or not. Now, long gone are the days when the banks used to throw money at you and actively push clients to borrow more than they necessarily needed for a mortgage. Now, the crisis back in 2007 effectively ended that since then the banks have been very, very cautious in the way that they lend. And they only give 60 to 70% of their valuation on a property, and their valuation is normally a lot less than the property value. This in reality meant that you needed a 50% deposit in order to obtain a mortgage. And even then, the banks would rather lend on an apartment in a city or a town than a large country villa. Now, with the new law, the banks are being even more responsible with how they lend, and the onus is on the banks to give always the very best advice and the very best mortgage available at all times. Otherwise, they face consequences and future further action. Now, in reality, this means that many of the mortgages that would normally have been simply agreed in the past now face extra scrutiny, and many of them won't be approved. Now, there are also issues with banks lending money to clients from out of the Eurozone, as the new law states that borrowers who earn their income in a currency other than euros must have the option of their mortgage in that currency. So if your income is in US dollars, pounds sterling, Swiss francs, or Hong Kong dollars, Polish zlotys, Saudi riyals, the bank have to accommodate that. Now, this part of the law was instigated to stop banks from selling, or should I say mis-selling, risky currency mortgages on Spanish properties to Spanish citizens. However, it's having an adverse effect on people getting mortgages here in Spain. It's proven a major headache for the banks, and you can bet that the added cost won't be absorbed by the banks, it'll be absorbed by you. So in conclusion, what I recommend? Well, in the past, we advised our clients to go straight to the banks and deal with them directly. And now we're sort of changing tack a little bit now. Until the volatility of the sector dies down, I personally feel that it may be a better option for you to initially contact a reputable mortgage broker. They'll have an overview of all the banks and their policies, and they're going to be able to advise you accordingly. The alternative is perhaps to look at financing in your own country as well. So take all of this into consideration when making an informed choice and looking at the ways to finance your dream property over here in Spain. I'm not a finance advisor. I would always advise that you go and speak to somebody who is qualified in this sector and get the advice of a reputable independent financial advisor or an institution when you're looking to finance a property here in Spain. Just use this as a guideline and that's all. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this week's episode. My details should be on the screen at the moment, so please don't hesitate if you want to drop me a line and we'll be happy to help. So once again, thank you very much for your time. We look forward to seeing you for the next episode of 2 Minute Tuesday with Hundon Valley Homes.